Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning back with another review. Today we are checking out this really awesome conferencing camera system. This thing has a 360 degree webcam, a 360 degree noise canceling microphone, and a 360 degree speaker system, so it picks everything up including the entire room from all the way around, which is really cool. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what this is, what it does. We'll go over a bunch of the specs and features, and then we will plug this thing in and do a nice demo and let you see the camera in action. In the box, you're going to get your warranty card and the user manual. Of course, you're going to get the camera system. That's going to be in the box for sure. Next up, you are going to get a really awesome remote control that you can control this with, a power adapter, and a USB cable. And those will plug into the bottom of the unit like so. And if you see that little hole on the bottom, you can put that on some threads for like a light stand or put it up on a tripod, or you can just set it right on your desk if you would like. Now this camera system does come with some really nice software which lets you make a couple of changes and upgrade the firmware, meaning if they decide they need to make some changes or want to make some improvements, they can do that to this later over firmware, so there will be some updates and stuff coming to this. Now the built-in speaker system will play audio all the way around, and it's actually pretty loud. It sounds nice. If you're on a conference call, everybody in your office is going to be able to hear everybody. So if somebody else is talking, you're going to be able to hear them through this, and then of course the microphones are going to pick up everybody in your room. So I mean, this is a camera, microphone, and speaker system, so this is great for any type of business or board meeting or podcast or anything like that where you just want to get a whole bunch of people in the room. But honestly, being able to have up to 20 people on the screen at one time is crazy. Now if you look at the top of this, you'll see the camera, and you will see 4 buttons which will help you control the camera and the volume and a couple of other things. I mean, you have way more control if you're using the remote, as this will let you do all kinds of things: zoom in, zoom out, decide where the camera picks up who in the room. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with this remote. We will demo this in a minute. That does give you a couple of different options to control this thing from the remote or from the buttons on the top. They do say they will be constantly upgrading the operating system on this, and it's never going to cost you extra for upgrades. So anytime they make changes or improvements to the firmware or make the camera system better, that's going to be 100% free, and you can upgrade that anytime as soon as they add a new firmware update. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw some of the specs up on the screen right now so you can look at some of the specs. And this is a Sony CMOS patented sensor which is supposed to do really well in low light. And even if I'm in really dim lighting, or if I crank up my photography and video lights to max and point them at the ceiling and give you the same type of atmosphere you would get in like a conference room, the camera does a pretty good job. Whether it's low light or bright light, it always seems to kind of adjust the exposure to the same level. So you can work well in low light or really bright rooms with this camera. This is a 1080p 30 frames per second camera. That's something that's very important to know. For best results, you want to be within 3 meters of this for the microphone to pick you up. The speaker can output sound at around 80 decibels when you have it cranked to max, which is plenty loud enough for anybody to hear. And it does come with a 1-year warranty, and you can extend that up to a 3-year warranty if you would like. Not only does it have noise cancellation, it does have echo reduction, meaning when the sound comes out of the speaker, it's not going to pick that up and play it back through the microphone as well, so you're not going to have a bunch of echo or a bunch of feedback coming back on the other end to whoever's listening to you. Now this should work with pretty much anything like Skype, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, pretty much any of those video calling conferences. It will work with OBS Studio if you need it to, but it should work with all of the major meeting apps, things, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug this thing in, and we're going to do a demo and let you see what this is all about, and then we'll be back for a wrap up after the demo. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and demo this camera and microphone system. And you can actually see on the very top of the screen there's a full 360 degree view of the room, so you can see everybody. If there were 15 people in this room at a conference, you would be able to see all 15 people sitting around the table. Right now we're starting off in global mode where the camera just stays where you leave it. You can actually zoom in, you can zoom out, you can do a 360 degree view of the room. So basically in global mode, you have full control of the camera with a little remote control, and the camera is just going to go wherever you tell it to go, and that's all it's going to do. Now it has two more modes, which are AI modes. Let's go ahead and put this into presentation mode. Now the camera is actually going to follow me around the room, and wherever I go, it's like, hey, he's going to go over here because he's the presentation person, I guess, whatever that means. But this is designed to work with one person. And if I come over here and I sit down, it's going to go ahead and zoom in on me. If I stand up, it's just going to follow me around the room. And I'm sorry that my room is not very nice to look at. Right now, we're kind of in a dimly lit room. We've got the video settings on the stock settings. You can turn up the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. There's a few different video settings you can get into to change things, but it's looking pretty good for being in a very dimly lit room. Now, if I go into discussion mode, this is when it's made for multiple people. So if I move over here, you're going to see my buddy Jim over there. Now it's going to put me in a second window away from Jim. So Jim's over there. I'm over here. If there were a third person or a fourth person to come into the room, it would give each one of us a window, and you can still see the entire room up at the top. And of course, whoever's talking, that person is lighting up in green. As you can probably see, there's a green box around me right now. And it still has the AI tracking for each single person. When you're moving around the room, this thing is going to track you wherever you go in any of the AI modes. Or you can just put it in the regular mode where we started off, where it's just going to kind of let you control the camera completely with the remote control. Now, if you're in one of the AI modes, you don't want to mess with the remote control, because if you hit a button, it's going to kick you out of the AI mode. So once you get into the AI modes, make sure you leave it as you want it, because if you touch the remote, it will kick you out of the AI modes. All right, this is going to be a really interesting test right here, as we have this picking up several different things at once. Sometimes you just have to get a little bit creative when you don't have people to work with when you're reviewing something like this. In front of me, I have a computer monitor with Ted. On the right, I've got a computer monitor with Bill. If I remove Bill or Ted or whoever that was over here, in a second, he's going to disappear and he's going to be gone. And then we'll pull him back up in a second. Yeah, there it's like, okay, no more persons, so it took him away. All right, so there we go. I mean, this is not the best test in the world, but it's actually recognizing people off computer monitors or screens. All right, so there it's picking up the television over there. So it is grabbing the video off of the television. So anyways, yeah, that's a very interesting creative test that gives you a good idea of how well this is going to work at recognizing different people in the room. But if you're looking for a really unique and interesting conference camera system, this is definitely something to check out. All right, so there we have it. If you're in a business meeting and you're needing to be on Zoom or Skype or anything like that, you can just set this in the center of your table. It's going to pick up every single person in your room. It's going to pick up their voices. It's going to let them hear the voices on the other end. I mean, this is basically an all-in-one conference calling system, which is going to be very handy for a business situation, for your board meeting, for your whatever it is, any type of presentations you're doing over Skype or Zoom or anything along those lines. This is going to be a big benefit if you're trying to get a whole bunch of people on camera at once. This is definitely not limited to business use only, but I think that's probably going to be the main reason people get this. Some people might have a podcast with multiple people sitting around a table. That could work for something like this as well. So if you want to do any type of conference calling or just record video where there's going to be a whole bunch of people in the room, something like this will come in very handy, and you won't have to hire a cameraman and have all this production value. You can just set this in the middle of your table and bam, it does all the work for you. So as far as I can tell, it works really well. It does a really good job detecting people. Even though I didn't have real people, I did get to test this out with real people, and it worked great when somebody came into the room or left the room. I had up to 4 people on the screen at one time, but unfortunately none of them were willing to be on camera for the video, so I had to improvise and get a little creative and put some people up on computer monitors. And if it's picking up people off of computer monitors and the television that's over there, you know it's going to do a really good job when it's real people, and it actually did a great job with real people, better than it did with the computer monitors. I wish I could have shown you that test, but they said do not put us on the video, so hey, it is what it is. But in my opinion, this is a very nice, very handy conference calling system that pretty much any business would probably find valuable. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe check out one of these other videos that's going to pop up on the screen in just a minute. And we will catch you next time. Lightning out. Have a great day. See ya.
Thanks for watching my video. I hate to say, but it's time to go. Maybe you can watch another one. That might be really fun. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for